Welcome to episode 88 of the Luke Winstall Show. Today's guest is, to this date, the highest profile recruit that I've ever had on the show. He's a dominant defensive lineman and the number 2 overall prospect in the class of 2022. Walter Nolen, thank you for joining me on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Awesome, I'm glad to have you on. We'll begin. I'm curious, what's your journey and what's your story been like getting to this point of being a top recruit?
Nothing, just working. It ain't really too much I can really go into. I've been hoping and dreaming about this since I was in middle school, and to see that it's finally coming true, it's a blessing.
Definitely. Well, for you as an athlete, when did these dreams of colleges talking to you and offering you, when did that start for you?
Ever since I was little, playing little pee-wee football, so I was like 6 or 7.
When did you start getting recruited in your first offers?
My ninth grade summer.
How do you remember that? Like, who was on you first? How did that go?
So what happened was, it wasn't really my summer. It was like the January after my ninth grade season. Tennessee had came in to see one of our players, and he had came to see me too. So I had came down to my coach office when I was back at Olive Branch, and we was talking for a minute, and then I ended up going back to class, and a couple minutes later I ended up getting a text from my coach saying that Tennessee wanted to offer me.
That's awesome. Well, being in state, your coach played, high school coach Marlon Walls played at Tennessee. So what's that environment been like for you, and how has that been navigating through that process in your state?
It been good. I know a lot of people expecting me, and a lot of folks really expecting for Tennessee to be up there in my recruiting list. And it just, of course they are. And it just I guess they expecting me to go to Tennessee since I'm back in Tennessee playing for my home state.
For sure. Well, I'm curious about looking at your high school career. You went to IMG for a little while. What was the experience like of hearing that IMG wanted to bring you down and that whole deal there?
It was kind of funny, because my dad, he came and checked me out of school one day and said that he needed to talk to me about something, and he ended up telling me that IMG had called him and talked to him about an hour about how they want me to come play for them and stuff, and how they want me to come take a visit on the school. So ever since I was little, they had my parents and even myself was saying if I had a chance to go to IMG, I would. So I guess God answered my prayers, and I ended up getting a chance to go. So they ended up wanting me to take a visit that next weekend. So the next weekend, I packed plenty of clothes to last me for a good couple of weeks, and we ended up going on the visit. I ended up liking it, so I ended up staying and registering right there on the spot.
What'd you like about IMG? I know it's a very unique environment.
I like how you getting the chance to meet new people. Like, you getting to know you learn something different every day about a different person. Because everybody ain't from where you from there. So it's like you learning stuff about folks from Connecticut, from Maryland, all kind of stuff, from Alabama, all kind of stuff.
For sure. Well, you ended up not staying at IMG. You transferred back to Tennessee, where you're now playing at St Benedict. So what went down there, and what role did the pandemic have in that?
Just how bad things were getting in Florida. It felt like it was time for me to come home. So my parents, they decided to bring me back home.
In your high school experience at St. Benedict, we mentioned your head coach, Marlon Walls. I've heard that you came back and you specifically wanted to be there because of him. So can you take us through that thought process and why that is?
I've been knowing him since I was little, so it just felt like the right thing to do to be able to go and be able to go and play for a coach. I know he a good person. He a good coach, and I know he gonna take care of me. So it was just like well, how can I explain? It was just like it was eventually gonna happen because he had been recruiting me to come in high school since I was in middle school.
I'm curious, last year, 92 tackles, 26 of those for loss, a few sacks to your name as well. Do you have a favorite play or a favorite highlight from last season?
I'll say probably it was a play when I had scored this past year. It was a direction up, and I ended up taking it to the crib.
Nice. Okay. Well, now in terms of your recruiting, I'm wondering where are you now in the process and what's your outlook?
The process is just it's been the same, just weighing out my options, seeing which schools, looking to see who's gonna be my teammates for the next 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years, however long I'm in there, and it's just been like trying to figure out what's most comfortable for me to be at home and not want to go anywhere after I get on campus.
Well, who are the teams that are recruiting you hardest? Who are some of those teams that are really up there for you right now?
Right now, I'll say Ohio State been on me tough. Bama, LSU, Clemson, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, all my really every school that I got on my list, they've been playing. They've been trying, even some California teams and stuff, been trying to get me.
Nice. Well, I'm curious with you dealing with coaches, players, everybody. Do you have a favorite recruiting story or something interesting that's happened since you've been on the recruiting trail?
Uh, yeah, yeah. This one, I ended up going up to when I had went to LSU. One of my ninth, I think, no, my sophomore year with my friend Xavier, who he played at LSU now, so like it was fun. It was fun for me to go on a trip with him, and even though me not even knowing that they wanted to recruit me like that, it was fun. Like it was, I mean, like that was my first like official like visit. So I mean, it's always a good memory on my have.
What are you looking for in a program? Like, what do you want to see?
Um, I'm just looking to see if looking to see who my coach gonna be, and like who I'm gonna be playing beside on the D line, and like if the team really working as hard as I'm willing to work.
You mentioned the coach. What characteristics or what type of coach are you looking for? What appeals most to you?
I'm looking for a coach really that's gonna push me. I mean, if the coach ain't trying to push me, I mean he ain't trying to make me better. You know what I mean? Like my parents always tell me, it's always another day that you can get better. So this is kind of the mentality I've been having going through everything.
Throughout this process for you, who are some of the people that have been most influential in helping you out?
My parents, my brothers, and really just me having time to think to myself.
What has been the coolest or the most fun part of being a 5 star, the number one or two player in the country?
Having to be committed to Under Armour. I mean, that's one of the coolest things I could have done. I mean, it's just one of those things that I mean, not many people get to do.
Under Armour, is that the All American Bowl that you're mentioning there? Yes. Has that been a goal for you for a while?
Yeah, it was like as soon as I got to high school, I was like, I got to play in this game.
Why do you think that was such a big goal for you?
I mean, just cause I mean, like that's where the best of the best players go, and I mean, have like seeing Deion Sanders and who else, all those old NFL legends playing and coaching right beside you. I mean, what's the word I can use? It's a memory you'll never forget. Being able to be coached by, uh, uh being coached by somebody that did everything that you're trying to do and is still doing some of the stuff that you plan to do.
Well, about a year ago, there was an article published in the National Recruiting News about how there was a writer and a lot of writers predicting that your name would be big on the national scene. And of course, over the last year, it has gotten really big. Lots of people know you. Have you had, or what interesting fan interactions or interactions of people that follow football have you had? Anything funny that stands out to you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just like sometimes when I be going in places, they be want to take pictures and stuff, and I mean, it's fun to be like living like living like how some of the NFL players living, like having a chance to be able to interact with fans and having a chance to get to know people that watch your game and you know being able to be a mentor to some of the younger middle school kids that want to play like you and want to do some of the things you do in the high school, and it's great.
For sure. Has anyone ever asked you for an autograph or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I went to the movies one time and they asked me for an autograph.
When that happened, like what goes through your head? You're just a high schooler, you know?
I mean, it was like why they want my autograph? Like I ain't even really did nothing yet. Like I ain't even on TV or nothing like that yet. So it was like, I mean, I guess it was kind of shocking to me.
You're the number one player at your position in the country, maybe the number one in your entire class. So, what about your game do you think has made you stand out in that way?
Just how hard I'm willing to work. I mean, I try to keep in mind every time I'm on the field, I'm the hardest competitor. Like I hate to lose, and I mean I mean, I guess it's like you gotta have like a Kobe mentality when you playing. Like you don't want to lose. You working every time. Like you taking every opportunity you can to get a win.
Overall, 24/7 Sports has compared you to Ed Oliver, but I'm curious what you think. How do you think your game compares, or what guys do you think you compare to?
I feel like I feel like I compare to like players like Aaron Donald and like a mixture of Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. Cause I mean I can play on the outside and I'm strong on the inside too. So it's like either way, like I'm not like a one trick pony. So I feel like they make me more marketable to schools.
Playing inside or outside on the line, where do you think you'll be in college more?
In college, I feel like I'm be able to play wherever they want me to. Like if it's a third and long, they need a sack. I feel like they can be able to depend on me to come off the edge and get a sack. And if it's a third and short, I feel like they can depend on me to get down inside and yeah, either get a tackle for loss or stop them at the line.
Yeah, your high school film would certainly confirm that. Who are some guys that you look up to, whether they're in college or the NFL or even former players?
Well, I look up the folks like Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, people like Patrick Queen, all those like I guess you could say hybrid type player like playing linebacker and DN. I look up all those players like that. And folks like Von Miller and stuff like that, some of the older people in the NFL.
What do you think drives you to work as hard as you do and drives you towards trying to pursue this success?
What drives me knowing that somebody always coming for your spot. You gotta always remember that like there's always somebody trying to be better than you. So if even if you're not working, somebody else working harder than you. So every time you get an opportunity, you gotta work as hard as you can.
Well, what do you think people get wrong about being a 5 star recruit and being someone that has the status that you've recently acquired?
I feel like they get it wrong. Like some folks think you just get it handed to you. I mean, like you gotta work for you gotta work for what you earn. It's just like when you get a job. If you don't go to work, you can't get a paycheck. So I mean, working on the field and getting a 5 star rating, they're like getting your paycheck.
Who do you think has been the toughest matchup for you in a live high school type game environment?
When we played back in my sophomore year, I played a senior at South Haven. He played left tackle. That was probably the toughest person I played against because I mean he I think he go to Notre Dame now, but I mean like he was just more experienced and stronger than me, and so like after that game, I knew I had to work harder because I mean I ain't want to never feel like that again.
Once you do get to the college level after your senior season, what are you looking forward to most about being a college athlete and playing at whatever school you end up choosing?
Just being able to put my name out there even more than it is, and getting a chance because not a lot of people get the chance to go to college and play football for free. So they're getting a chance to use my opportunity to get a good education and being able to hopefully get a degree out of all of this and have something to fall back on if the NFL don't work out.
Now I want to dive into a bit about your personality, see a little bit of who you are off the field. So first off, how would you describe yourself and who you are off the field in a sentence or two?
I say I'm a cool and chill dude, man. I'm just like anybody else. I crack jokes and play around too, just like any other kid. So I mean, I feel like I'm just like anybody else. I love to have fun. I love to hang out with friends, all that.
What are some things that, as you look at life in general, what's on your bucket list? What are some things you really want to do?
I want to for sure. NFL is for sure, but I want to. If I get the chance, I want to travel the world. I want to go see some things I ain't never seen before, and just
Definitely. Anything specific for you in terms of travel that you have that you really would want to go see?
I want to see everything. Like there's one thing I do want to do before I leave the planet. I want to be able to say that I went all across the world. I saw everything, even different countries and stuff like that. I want to be able to say I saw everything.
What do you think is something about you that people don't know, but you think they should?
I mean, like people in person, like they'll think that I'm mean and serious all the time. But like if you get to know people and stuff.
If you could go to dinner with any one person on the planet, could be anybody, for an hour and sit down and have a conversation, who would it be?
I gotta go with either Michael Jordan or Kobe.
And what makes you say that?
Cause we just like watching them play. I mean, you can tell all the dedication they put into the game. You can tell they love the game. And I feel like getting to hear from them and hear from their perspective, they're gonna make me go even harder.
What do you do outside of football in terms of hobbies or things that you do for fun?
I play basketball. I play ping pong. I just love sports. Like I love to compete. Like any chance I get on, I'm ready to compete. Man, it's fun. I mean,
How good are you at ping pong? Do you have any special moves or tricks or anything that you like to do?
so bad. Like I'm all right. It's just I feel like it's just a ping pong. Just something you can use to get away from everything. Like you ain't got to worry about nobody coming to talk to you about football. Like playing ping pong with my friends and stuff, and playing pool and stuff like that. It's just like it's like a getaway from everything.
In terms of music, Walter, what do you listen to?
I listen to Rod Wave. I listen to Lil Baby. I listen to all those folks. I listen to King Von. May he rest in peace. I listen to I listen to everything. Like you'll never catch me listening to just one type of music.
If you could give the audience a song recommendation based off what you listen to, what would it be?
I play. I probably say Lil Durk, and I say is watch your homies because I mean you gotta watch everybody. Like it's always somebody that's trying to one up you for sure.
Definitely. Now, what do you think is something that people may not expect about you that don't know you, but once they get to meet you, things are a little different?
They wouldn't expect me to be as playful and goofy as I am. Yeah.
Walter, when you look at your recruitment overall and the future for you, I mean, what are your goals and what do you want to accomplish on the field?
I want to be able to say by the time I step off the field for the last time, I want to be able to say I was one of the best to ever do it. I'm be able to say I competed with the best. I beat some of the best. I want to just be able to say I was one of the top people.
Definitely. Well, Walter, that's all the questions I had for you. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of The Luke Winstall Show. Please be sure to follow on social media at Luke Winstall Show and share it with all your friends. That concludes this episode, but I'll see you back next week with another great guest.